be talking about the environmental impact by Eco and Review. Let's go on.
Post Eco and let's go. Chapters. Read this. The problem. Humans have been polluting the earth. Oh, my friend will read this. Sorry.
Sure, I'll read this. Humans have been polluting the earth for many. In Chicago, 1857, Chicago's sky was smudged a dirty brown from all the pollution that was in Chicago. Carbon emissions are going up each year, and no one is doing anything about it.
Exactly. The effect. The effects of carbon dioxide emissions is global warming, which of course melts ice. Global warming is causing more serious storms and, of course, is causing icebergs and glaciers to melt. And it's causing sea levels to rise. See how the effect is going. Now, simple. One, pollution causes global warming, which causes icebergs to melt, which causes sea levels to rise. And it's also causing flooding, which is causing the sea level to rise. And it's the air quality.
So the towns near the coast, the sea level is rising, so the water is getting higher.
New York, for example, is actually New York and Florida are at very big risk.
Yeah.
And Miami in Florida, I think, has a lot of hurricanes these days because of global warming. Now, people are dying every day because of the pollutants that are going in their body, and also in the Arctic, polar bears live on icebergs or just skinny pieces of ice. And when these icebergs are melting, they disappear, and polar bears can't find their homes, and they actually die from swimming because of the tiredness. They get so much fatigue, and they also get really what do you call it? Cold in that water because that water is even colder. But that, yeah. So plants that live in the world are also dying due to the heat levels. Yes, like you could say the Amazon jungle. You could say, or the Conga somewhere. The plants are actually dying very quickly, and those leaves are not are burning sometimes. Sometimes it's so hot that the leaves burn, and they get tired from swimming and drown. Wait, sorry. Um, lastly, the world is getting more warmer because of the CO2. Carbon dioxide is creating layers of gases that's taking in sunlight but not letting the heat go out in the earth. Also, in northern Canada and in northern Russia, there is lots of permafrost, which means that the ground stays frozen all year. And also, there are some dead animals in there that should stay that way because they have lots of methane and carbon dioxide stored inside them. So when the permafrost melts, the ground erodes, and also the animals are uncovered. The dead animals' bones are uncovered, and it releases a lot of methane because the bacteria that were eating the flesh, they released a lot of methane as their gas. So it releases a lot of methane, basically. Cities affected.
The cities that are affected are many. Florida, for example, has already been affected because of rising sea levels. Half of Florida is underwater already, so we must save the rest. Florida's beaches. So imagine, like, I went to Clearwater Beach in 2016, and back then most of Clearwater Beach, like, sand was there. But then when I went to Clearwater Beach in 2019, I saw that there wasn't many space for sand, and then I realized that the water is rising. Half
Yes.
of Florida is underwater already, so we must save the rest. Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, because these pieces of land are very new in the geological timescale, only 20,000 years old. In at least 70 years, half of Delaware will be underwater and Maryland will start to flood. Another city slash island is the Bahamas that will flood. They form the same way that Florida formed with limestone, so we don't even need to learn about it. Oops, half of the Bahamas Half of the Bahamas is also underwater already. We are in danger. We have to act quick. So Bahamas is also flooding, and Florida and many other islands are also in trouble right now.
In total, plastic problems. The problem. People however, have been dumping plastic in the ocean for years. Before, plastic was being used for pool balls, where you have a stick and you throw the ball into a hoop. Well, not basketball; it's a table. Yeah. And the after the sorry, what do you call it? Ivory. Elephants were starting to go extinct, so many organizations stopped um, protested that people stop using ivory for their um, balls. But soon, this man, he tried 1 billion times. No material seemed to work. Finally, in the 1800s, it worked in a snap. It worked. It was hot. It was nice and hard, but it was also bouncy for the pool balls. So that meant it was the best material. But after a while, new types of plastics were invented. The latest, of course, is poly something, and it's the most best plastic and most popular plastic in plastic bags and for packaging. When plastic was invented, and still today, most plastic is not recyclable. So the only place to dump the plastic was in the ocean or in landfills, and landfills got dumped into the ocean.
Usually landfills usually get dumped in the oceans and then they turn
But
into garbage.
before people realized that this their landfills would not that would they before people realized that their landfills um protected their trash going into the ocean, they used to dump it in the ocean. And the effect.
The effect. The effect of all this trash everywhere can, of course, damage the environment. Plus, there is an old saying, whatever bad deed you do, it will come back and bite you. This obviously means whatever us humans do, there will always be an effect. For example, this plastic is killing hundreds of marine animals a day, and now we are finding plastic in bird nests, bee honey, because I don't. We still humans are trying to find out how is the plastic getting into the bee honey. Fishes are eating the plastic, and when we kill the fish to eat the fish, we find plastic inside. And many humans are eating tiny pieces of plastic inside, which is called microplastic, and they get plastic inside their bodies and they die. For example, the homework you can do can affect your grade in school. So as humans must help the environment we have to have a good effect. That should be long lasting. The effects of plastic are exactly like we want it, but the opposite. They are long lasting, which is why GPGP, Great Pacific Garbage Patch, now move on to the next that they are long lasting, which is why GPGP, Great Pacific Garbage Patch, is now existing because they are holding really tiny pieces of plastic together and sucking in the plastic, and it's getting really bad because the animals think because oh this plastic smells like my fish, so I'm going to eat it, and then when they eat it they die because most plastics actually look like the food to them. So they actually eat it, which is not good at all. So now let's move on to the next slide to see how you can help.
How you can help? You can help by picking up a plastic at the beach. Of course, not in a pandemic. It can help the environment a lot. So go to a beach and pick up everything. Of course, not in a pandemic. Again, you also use less plastic by taking the plastic bags they give you at stores, and instead take a canvas bag and use that. Subscribe to Eco showing reviews and learning.
Bye everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.
If you liked it. Bye everybody.